2, 1. What's going on, folks? Welcome to 34 Questions. I'm your host, 34, and tonight I have a very special guest, Mr. Tyrell Whittaker is in the building. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. It's a Tuesday, so we still got, ways to go. But other than that, it's all gravy on my end. So for the folks out there who are unfamiliar with the flow of the show, we do some intro questions, some warm-up questions just to set the tone. And then after that, we'll jump into the Wheel of Fate, where we spin the wheel, whichever number it lands on, we'll roll the conversation through that way. And then after that, we'll have some final stretch questions. Sound good to you, Tyrell?
Yep.
All right, man. Well, my very first question for you, it's been a long time, man. It's been like, 10 years or so, almost 10.
Yeah, long time. I was a little guy.
Yeah, man. my very first question for you, man, is how you been? Been doing well? Been doing great? How you been lately?
I've been all right, just kind of adjusting to everything going on.
Oh no, I think I caught you in a pause right there. Can you still hear me? My bad, man. It kind of froze right there. I don't know. I didn't get what you said, so I'm gonna have to ask you again. But
good.
How you been?
I've been good though. I've been good. I've been transitioning through life, adjusting with everything going on, kind of bouncing around through, different phases of life, different parts of life. So just kind of trying to figure out where I belong in all this right now. That's kind of where I've been, though. But I've been good.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I mean, honestly, I think this is where I belong, but who knows? Maybe a year from now, I'll be like, damn, maybe, this was just part of my stepping stones to get where I really want to be. But I gotta ask you, man, how old are you now?
23.
23. All right, man. You got a long way. You still got a long way to figure it all out. I know we always in a rush because we'd rather be figured out now than later. But yeah, man. I hope you're not putting too much pressure on yourself to get it all figured out.
I try not to.
I hear you. And then let's jump into some warm-up questions, man. Here we go. Yeah. My first question for you is, what would you like the audience to know about you? If you could introduce yourself to people without feeling like, without any fear of judgment, what would you want them to know about you?
My name is Tyrell Whittaker. I'm from Oakland, California. I was born December 21st, 1997.
Well, what zodiac sign is that?
So it's funny. It depends on who you ask. Some people say Sagittarius. Some people say Capricorn. I looked online and I've seen all type of things. I've always said Sagittarius, so that's just the one I go with.
For sure. You think that describes you well, Sagittarius?
For the most part, when I read the little horoscopes and stuff, it does. The like free spirited, kind of like adventurous, a little bit impulsive at times, but like very loving too. Very, very loyal to the people around. Those are usually the positive horoscopes that I read. I don't pay attention to
I got you.
Yeah.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Anything else you'd like to add before we move on to the second question?
I mean that's pretty much the basis of like how I introduce myself, my name, where I'm from, my birthday, and I'm just happy to be here.
I got you, man. I got you. My second question for you is, if someone were to pay you a tribute, how would you like to be honored? So if I was going to tell myself today I'm going to do some sort of act for Tyrell, what kind of act could I do for you, man?
And it doesn't have to do with me, like you don't do nothing for me. It's like
it's just like, if I was going to send you good energy, or if I was going to have, your energy in a way for me to spread it out to other people, what could I do for you,
I like that. I think first thing that comes to mind would be like donating or like working with kids in some way.
Okay.
I really love like the youth and like just the future and like being able to like shape their minds and kind of see the path that they're on. So, you know, if in any way people could like spend more time trying to build up the youth, I feel like that would be a great tribute to me.
For sure, man. You work with the youth nowadays? Or?
I've had a good amount of jobs working like after school care. I was actually a Smash RA not too long ago. So.
That's what's up, man.
For Smash and Morehouse. So it was cool. That was a cool like full circle moment for me. But I really do like working with kids and like the energy that it brings. Just part of it kind of just reminds me to like always stay young and like, you know, never forget that part of me.
For sure, man. I mean, you know, since the last time we seen each other at Smash, I've had pretty much about like 15 jobs in 10 years in like all different kinds of places doing different things. And that's one thing that I currently work with the youth now. But I was just pulled back into it, man, because I don't know if you've experienced it too much, but I know that nothing is more fulfilling, at least for me, unless I was working with the youth, you know, and for the exact reasons you kind of said. The energy and just like, you know, this is like the future you talking to, and you know, everything they like. And you're 23 working with the youth, and I was 23 when I was working with you guys. So yeah, it wasn't too far of a gap, and I think that way we could still feel connected in some way, like we were growing together, kind of thing. I don't know if you had that same feeling with your guys at Morehouse, but yeah,
it was dope. It was dope. I had a lot of fun. That was my first time in Atlanta, first time on Morehouse campus, like first time being that far away from home for that long by myself. So it was like a lot of learning for me while I was still, you know, helping out the Smash Scholars and, you know, being there for them in the ways that they needed me. I was also learning a whole lot from them and my, you know, co-workers and the site directors, and just being in a new place, new experience. It was very fulfilling.
Anything like any culture shock happened to you? Like you went over there first time, you know, being on campus with some college students as well, and the kids that you were working with. Anything like, were they cool with you being from California, or did they kind of test you a little bit, just being like, you know,
I wasn't getting tested, but it was definitely different because, I mean, that's a long way from where they at. But Morehouse is a big campus, and a lot of different kids from different states go there. It was more so like, I came from Chico State. That was the school I was going to. And then I went to Morehouse for like a month. I was on their campus, and just, that was the biggest culture shock. Was like the what was it, PWI or whatever? I don't know if Chico qualifies as that, but, and then you have the HBCU life. It was totally like mind blowing. And I didn't even get the full experience. It was really just a summer camp, but just being on the campus and interacting with some of the other students who went to Morehouse, and being on, you know, just being around, it was like, it started to make me think a lot more about, you know, my choices and stuff like that. So man, it was definitely mind blowing.
I hear you, man. I hear you, and I'm glad that you had a great experience. Can you give me one highlight of that summer working? I mean, I don't know if you guys had the similar events that we had at, you know, Smash Berkeley and all that stuff, but yeah, any highlight pops up in your mind?
There were some similar events. We had like the field day one time. The parents came that time for like the picnic and stuff, so all that was cool. But I think the highlight for me might have been the last day, the ceremony of it all, because it was just like seeing how smart the scholars was like. These kids was 14, 15, and the projects that they were working on, the building, and the conversations that they were holding, and I was like, wow, I was just proud to be a part of it. Like, proud to be a part of something like this. To look around and Morehouse was an all male. It was an all male program. Like that's the first mass all male program. So it was very fulfilling to see like little kids who used to look just like me doing all these wonderful things. And I keep saying kids, but they were scholars. We keep calling them what we call them scholars. Yeah, but
hey, man,
it was crazy. It was crazy.
They're kids to you, man. No matter how old you get, you're always gonna see them as those kids that you're looking over.
I feel like my little brothers and stuff like that. Like that's how I feel. Like I hope they just like my little kids, man.
Yeah, man. Who knows? 10 years from now, you're gonna be having this kind of conversation with them as well. Who knows? Yep. But all right. And my last question for you in the warm up is: on a scale from 1 to 10, how well do you know yourself?
I would say about a 7, because I know myself pretty well. I know what kind of ticks me off and what kind of makes me happy, but I still feel like every day I'm learning more about myself, and I don't know if I'll ever truly know everything, or I'll just be getting closer and closer. But I definitely feel closer, to knowing myself more than I did a year ago or 2 years ago. So it's just as time goes, I continue to learn more about myself, and it's interesting. But I feel like it's still so much more I've yet to learn.
I got you. This is a tricky question because I feel like, even though it doesn't seem like it, I think as people, we're constantly changing. We're always getting new information. We're always, having new experiences. So who we were yesterday isn't exactly who we are today. But yeah, but this is a good way to just remind yourself of where you were at this point in history of your life and be like, all right, I felt like I knew myself at a 7. A follow-up to that question is, what would you say is your favorite thing about your personality?
Ooh, favorite thing about my personality. I can find humor in almost anything when it's appropriate, But,
I was gonna say that sometimes gets tricky. That can get you in some trouble.
When it's appropriate. But I know how to just sometimes see life just kind of as it is, and not take everything as I wouldn't say as serious, but like just don't let things kind of shake up my world as much as they used to. I'll kind of learn how to, laugh certain things off, and just as time goes on, you can look back on it and it's like a funny story rather than me being like traumatized from it or something like that. I learned to find more humor in life, because I feel like it's funny that we all here in the first place anyway.
I mean, is life a joke? Sometimes it feels like it is, right?
Sometimes it does. And it's easier sometimes, I feel, when you feel that way, other than thinking like life is this grand mission that every day you have to be like working hard, 10 toes to the ground, no matter what, 24/7. Like I feel like some days you can relax and just find the humor, and then the things around you find the joy, because you're happy when you're laughing. So I feel like you find joy when you find the humor.
Nah, for sure, man. And I get it. I get the the hardworking part, and being always on. And some people are like that, and they're about that life, and I respect that. But everyone's different, and for me, life is about balance. You'll have those days when you go 24/7 going hard, maybe for like a month, and then afterwards you got to have that month to rest, or else that's not a life that's enjoyable, not in my opinion. But I hear you. And before we jump into the wheel, I do want to ask you, because when I was your RA, I think maybe you guys know I was really trying to impart some wisdom to you guys. But what's something what kind of wisdom did you impart to your guys out there in Morehouse? You feel like,
I feel like the one thing I left I wouldn't say for sure, but that I really wanted to is to think for yourself and make decisions that's going to better your life. And you know, people around you, there's always going to be people around you, so you know, you have to think about how your actions will affect other people. But I do truly believe that you should, in many situations, put yourself first and think about your well-being in order to make the best decision for you and everyone around you. You can only help anyone else if you're helping yourself. I think, you know, it's like a two-way street, I feel.
Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself before you take care of anyone else.
Yeah,
I gotcha. Well, all right, man. We made it to the main portion of the interview where we're gonna turn to the wheel. Boom, and let's give it a spin. And just a reminder, there is an easy, medium, hard, so feel free to go about it however you like. And your first number is 14. Where would you like to start?
Let's go easy. 14.
I gotcha. Well, number 14 is, if you could get one answer from the universe, what would you ask it?
Ooh, one answer from the universe. I would ask, one answer from the universe. I think I would just ask what was my purpose here? Like, what was Tyrell meant to be doing with my time on Earth? And then, like, if it's a situation where, you know, like, I'm kind of like past life, like, did I do what I was supposed to do? You know, did I make the people proud that I was supposed to? Are people proud of me? Like, I would just want to know that I came here for a reason, and that I, you know, kind of like fulfilled that reason to the best of my ability. Yeah.
I gotcha. So you talked about past lives. Is that something you kind of believe in, sort of believe in, or are open to? That we are reincarnated and, you know, we continue. I'm
like, it's not like a everyday belief. I'm open to it. I kind of like, it interests me. I do kind of believe in it in ways. So I do kind of always have that in my head when I think about it. I used to think I was King Tut reincarnated.
Okay.
Because he, when I used to see like pictures of him online as a child, he kind of looked like me, and he also had sickle cell. I had sickle cell, so it was like, oh, that's my guy right there. So
yeah,
I always felt like that was me. But yeah, past life is something I do kind of believe in.
I hear you. I mean, yeah. Do I believe in reincarnation? Kind of, sort of, like, you know, like, because we don't know. We really have no fucking clue about what goes on before life and after life. But yeah, I like to think that we are energy, and once we're gone, our energy is still out there. So maybe you got some King Tut energy in you, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, man, I don't know. Do you get deja vu a lot, or not so much?
I get it. Not like every day or like super often, but there are times where I'll be sitting back and I'll feel like I've been here before, or like I know what to do next almost. And it feels almost like scary, like almost like things around you aren't as real, or almost too real. Like, sometimes I don't know, but it's like, it's a feeling that I do get.
Yeah, it's a glitch in the matrix, man, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I used to get deja vu a lot, and I mean, I think even now, if I catch myself, I always think about, I need to change that. I need to move this pen from here to here, you know, just seeing if it's gonna change anything. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like there's a part of me that believes that, you know, we do have a life purpose, but if we don't get to it, or we don't come to that realization, then we kind of start everything over from where our soul belongs, which would be this time frame. So I mean, for me, I always feel like if I died and I didn't do it, I would just start back in 1990 and live this whole like story, and hopefully I make better choices as I go along.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just how I feel about it. And yeah, I'm not right by any means, but
I like that though. I never really kind of seen it like you would just start back.
How would we know?
Yeah, you have no clue, but I like the thought of that.
Yeah, but it also kind of goes against my whole belief that like the reason why this podcast is created and all that stuff is that I think we do at some point in the world there was only like 1,000 people, and then from 1,000 people to like 6 billion people, our lineages, our lines or something is connected through the same people. And yeah, that's something I have to take into consideration. I mean, you watched, I don't want to assume, but you've seen like Avatar, right? Like the last Airbender series. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen episodes. I wouldn't say I was a big fan, so I hope everybody don't get on me, but I've seen episodes.
Nah, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. But there's a scene where like the dude is standing there, and then he has all the other past avatars right behind him. That's how I kind of like see us as individuals. Like, we have all that army behind us of all these people that came before us, and I think it's all of it all together. So yeah. But that's an interesting fun fact. Yeah, I met someone who doesn't like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I feel like, yeah, you're right. People are gonna hate on you a little bit for that one.
It's all good. I can take that though.
yeah, I hear you, man. That's good though. I'm glad I know now, because I could say that, like, it's not like 100% everybody in the world digs this.
I just never like sat down and got into it. It was just never my thing.
I mean, it took me until I was like 24 to actually sit down and watch it. And from there I kind of understood it a little more, because at the time I was like, I got past the age of, I felt like it's too old for cartoons or whatever. Yeah, so I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. But then I watched it as an adult, and I'm like, damn, I kind of missed out on it. But maybe I wouldn't have understood it the way I would have as an adult.
Definitely.
Don't give up hope, man. I feel like if you're bored.
I started like Naruto, Attack on Titan, One Punch. So I've like seen like like the anime style, or like like that kind of like storyline type stuff. I just haven't got into the Avatar, and I just feel like I don't know. I don't even know if I want to right now, or like
no pressure. But yeah, the anime stuff I've been getting into because of the kids I work with. All the kids these days are about anime 100%, so it's pretty crazy. If you didn't notice, that next spin was number 24.
24.
Easy, medium, or hard?
I'll go medium.
Medium 24. This one is, what is a memory you feel like you're misremembering? Because you know how sometimes, I'm sure you heard it before, like there's always 3 sides to the story: your side, their side, and what really happened. So for you, is there any kind of example you feel open to share that you feel like maybe it's not exactly the way I thought it was?
A story I'm misremembering. I got a speed ticket one time. And they said I was going like 103. So I always tell the story that I was going around maybe 90, 92. But I was definitely going like 105. So I always tried to like say it so that I felt it, and then I could like contest my ticket. But I think it just was not out there in the world. The energy was not there. They didn't care. The courts didn't care. They still gave me my speeding ticket. I gotta pay.
That's what's up. Yo, man, that's one way to learn a lesson, right? Is to actually go through that process.
My first speeding ticket too. It was my first speeding ticket. I just It was actually not too long ago. Like last year, I just got a new car. So I was feeling good. I was driving from San Diego because I had moved to San Diego for about a year. I was just feeling good on the road. But I really think the cop was just bored because he told this story about how he like pulled off on the road and like turned around and then followed me for like 10 minutes. So it was just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
man.
felt like he just had something to do. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah.
I got you. Hey, man, it's one of those nights, especially you get a new car, you wanna break it in, right?
It was fast. It was a fast car, you know. Figured I could go home faster.
Hey, man, I'm just glad you're safe. I'm glad, you know, nothing bad happened.
I definitely slowed down. now, though.
I mean, once you get that ticket, it's like, is it worth it?
Yeah, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, hitting the triple digits, I know how much that ticket can go way up if they catch you over triple digits.
They gave me about like $2,000, $2,100. So
yeah,
I'm not proud of myself. I felt very stupid in the moment, but it was also like, you know, whatever.
No, I got you, man. I got you. Let's switch this to a positive note. You said you wasn't proud that moment. Well, what's been one of your proudest moments for yourself?
Actually getting that car in my name, all my money, you know, like my pay stubs, my bank stuff. Like I went to the dealership, I talked to the people, I got the car note I wanted. Even lower than it is, even though it cost $2-3, but it's lower than I said I wanted to pay. So I was just very proud of myself. I feel like, you know, every day just getting older and learning more and just being more independent. Doing way more things just on my own, and like, you know, before it was like trying to buy a car like on Craigslist or OfferUp, and then I get somebody like $3,000, $4,000, and it might break down or something might happen, and then like, all right, I gotta do it over. But this time I went to a dealership and put it all in my name, and I've been paying all the notes off. I ain't been late or nothing like that. So I've just been really proud of myself for like keeping that, because that feels like, you know, totally mine.
Yeah, that's some grown shit right there, man. That's some grown shit for sure. Yeah, I mean, the car I got now, I think my pops came with me to the dealership just in case. But yeah, man, I'm still catching up to you on that feeling. I'll tell you that.
It was nice. It was definitely like as I drove off and I connected my phone to the speaker, and I'm hearing the engine, and got the little sport mode and the push to start, and I'm feeling like, you know, I did good.
Damn, man, it's a crazy feeling though, right? Yeah. Until that next time you can get that feeling. That's one thing I realized, like, you know, that my highest highlights, you know, is like this feeling that I always trying to kind of want to get back to, and kind of like, you know, why can't I feel like I'm graduating every day, you know, or like, you know, something like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
It is a trip. You know, someone told me, and, you know, knock on wood, because I don't think I'm ready, but you're never ready for this. But someone told me that's like having a kid is that feeling that you're looking for. And I'm all like, yo, I don't know, not for everybody.
Like you said, knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
So yeah. I can't speak on that one.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. It's just someone told me about that, and I'm all like, I could see your point of view. But
I understand it, but yeah, I'll wait on that one.
I got you. Let's go ahead and roll for another number. I gotta ask you, did you happen to check out any other Smash students that came through the podcast? Or not yet?
Yours?
Yeah. Like
I was watching to kind of see like the format, and I was going through to see like how people like talk, and like how you're allowed to talk and like, stuff like that. So I watched a good amount of them, just to make sure I knew those things.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. If you didn't notice, you landed on a FITB, which is a fill in the blank. I just had to shorten it up.
Okay.
But here we go. Your fill in the blank is life is all about blank.
Life is all about, I feel, life is all about relationships and like cherishing those relationships, like love between people, whether it be your brothers, your sisters, your partners, your moms, your dads. Like, I just feel like love between people is truly what life is all about, because I feel like that's the only, not the only, but one of the main organic things that we have in this world right now, with everything else around us being kind of like so crazy, so much man-made stuff, so much made-up stuff, so much artificial things. I feel like we gotta cherish those organic things like love. So I feel like life is all about love and relationships.
For sure. Couple of follow-up questions to this is so what is something that can gain your trust? Like, you meet somebody for the first time and you don't really know them that well, but then there's something that happens or something that you see them do that makes you go, you know what? Yeah, I fuck with that dude or girl,
I'm not entirely sure, actually, because I don't know if I really believe that I trust in a whole lot of people.
I got you.
It's like, if you've been around for a while and we've always shown the loyalty, then I don't have to question it. When I first meet you, I wouldn't say I already trust you. I feel like I'm almost like not looking for a reason, but waiting on the reason for me not to trust you, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust you, so I'm not really like going to even put that stamp on it. But if you do something weird, then I can definitely say that I don't trust you. So then it's just kind of like, oh man. And I don't know if that's really like been good or bad, but it's been able to keep like people that have been untrustworthy out of my life, definitely.
Word. Yeah, I think you brought up something that's important, which is time. I think time that you spend with somebody is or like just being around, showing up, that's a huge thing for trust. And
being genuine.
Yeah, being genuine. Like for you, do you feel like, how nowadays, and maybe in your generation too, I feel like I'm a lot older than you are, but the whole phrase of being unapologetically you, like, this is who I am, I'm not gonna try to change myself for anybody. Do you think that's something that you do already? Or let's start there. Is that something that you feel like you do?
I feel like being unapologetically you is a good thing, but also keeping an open mind to knowing in spaces where you could probably improve, or where you could make certain changes just to make your life better, or people's lives around you better. I don't never feel like it's too much of a change to try to change certain things in your life that could accommodate somebody else. So I do feel like being unapologetically you and being proud of who you are is very important, but also being very critical and knowing that, you're not perfect, and that everybody has things they can work on or things that can change, that they can, improve on. So I feel like just being able to see from all angles and see from both sides, or, whatever the phrase is, like, yeah, I am proud to be Tyrell. I stand tall in it, but I do know that there are things that Tyrell has to improve on, and I hope that I do improve on those things, so I can just be even more proud of who I am.
I gotcha. I think that's something that I haven't. Maybe I'm just assuming and judging too much, but because when I talk to younger folks, that's something I hear a lot, is being unapologetically them. And you brought up just being open to knowing that you could be wrong about things, which I don't think that's what I haven't heard that yet, which, I understand when we're young, we feel like we know it all, and this is who I am, who I'm going to be forever. But yeah.
I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that I really I already, like I said, don't know too much about myself, so I know that there's so much I don't know about life. So I don't look at it as I know it all. I just know that there are things that I do know that shape how I learn things and how I take in things. So I'm appreciative of the information I have and what I do know, and I will stand strong in like my opinions and what I do feel I know. But in things that I'm not so strong in, or things that I don't know, I run into for the first time, I'm open to the fact that I don't know this, and just being uncomfortable. So however long it may be.
I feel you. That's what's it called? Growth happens outside the comfort zone, right?
Definitely.
So yeah, gotta keep growing.
Yes, definitely.
Let's turn to the wheel one more time and give it another spin. See what we got.
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh, okay, you landed on the vibe check. So
Vibe check.
Let's go to the vibe check. Here you go, man. I got 4 things right here, and there's 4 scales, and we'll just go through them one by one and see what you got to say about it. And the first one is being open-minded or closed-minded. You feel like where do you feel like you land on that the scale? Open, closed, or somewhere in the middle? Yeah.
I feel very open-minded. I feel like there are things that I've like had to unlearn and relearn because I knew that was not the appropriate way to go about life, or things that I've learned that I know that I'm certain of, and that you can't really waver me on. So that maybe you make like closed-minded, but it's not like, I'm always open to discussion and hearing everybody's side on most subjects. Some things we don't have to discuss, but
I got you.
For the appropriate topics, then yeah, I'm open to the discussion, and hearing more and learning more, and always feel like I'm very open-minded.
For sure. Now, the second chart or second scale is between like thinking deep or staying on the surface, being a little more shallow. Where do you like to keep your mind at? Are you going 10 feet all the time?
I try not to get too deep, but my mind, it goes there sometimes on its own. Then it's just like a rabbit hole. But I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm always like trying to understand more, trying to understand what things mean, or what I'm about, or what just everything has a question and an answer, and many different answers sometimes. So I just feel like I'm always looking for an answer to something, even if it's like a shallow subject. I'm already too deep in understanding how it works now. So it's like now it's become a deep subject to me.
I gotcha. And you talked about you mentioned trying to stay shallow. Like why even try to do that?
I wouldn't say try to stay shallow. It's just sometimes not. When I start to get too deep, then I feel like I'm just too many thoughts are jumping around in my head, and sometimes I can't get them all together. So not shallow so much, but like try not to get myself all tangled up in things that may or may not be there sometimes, or like just getting too deep. I don't know if that's a thing, but like sometimes I feel like I may just let my mind get so far gone that it's like, what were you even thinking?
No, I mean, for me, how it relates to me, man, is like, you ever heard paralysis by analysis? You ever heard that phrase?
I haven't.
Yeah, so it basically means you're thinking about something so much that you don't end up doing it, or you end up like staying still because paralysis by analysis. That's something that stuck to me. It's like, damn, I could have been done that, but because I waited so long, or I was trying to think of every possible outcome to that decision, it like keeps me stuck. So
it keeps me stuck, and that's my problem a lot of times. And that's where I'm trying to find my balance.
For sure, man. For sure. And like I said, I mean, I would love you to find that a lot faster than I did, because I felt like I took a long time analyzing myself. But yeah, man, no pressure.
Definitely.
And so the third scale on this picture is positive or negative. You feel like are you more like a Mr. Brightside or you more realistic, I would say?
I feel in my head I'm more realistic, but I try to relay a more positive message, to people around me to keep, morale and spirits. I do try to keep it real, but I also I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer, because nobody wants to be around those kind of people. But I don't want to lie to people. If things aren't going to be that great, then I won't tell you it's going to be that great, but I'm not going to just completely rain on whatever parade you're attending.
I hear you, man. Yeah. No, I mean, I think I'm definitely more of a sunny skies person. And if I was going to be unapologetic about anything, it's about that.
Yeah.
I get it. I get, I have to be more realistic and then, see things as they are instead of what I want them to be. But I think for me, it's just I think there's a lot of people already who do that. And I think there just needs to be more people who kind of push the positive, or like you said, have a positive message out there.
Yeah.
Even though I guess deep down inside, I have to be realistic and have that balance for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then this last scale is, do you think we're all one? Do you think we're all one, or are we all individuals?
I believe we're all individuals. I believe that, like anatomy and things like that, we all kind of are maybe built the same, but I just believe that through life experience and just through life experience mainly, it just makes us individuals. Everything that we go through and things that we see, hear, do, try, it's all different from person to person. Even if we try similar things, we may try it at similar times in our lives or at different places. So I feel like that alone, just those little things make us just the individuals that we are.
I feel that. Yeah, I think we are individuals as well. But somebody put it to me in this way: we're individuals now until we all become one. And as I think when we talked about energy, just being out there in the afterlife, I was like, damn. But in a way that I wish I could put it in. But all right, man, let's give this another spin. And just a heads up, we have about 10-15 minutes left in the podcast. I want to thank you again for stopping by, and hope you're having a good time, man. This is
yes sir
been dope for me. All right, you got number 33. Which level would you like to go for?
I'll go hard.
33 hard. Here we go. So for this one, it is, what are your 4 seasons? So we have the 4 seasons of, fall, winter, spring, summer. But for you personally, what would you say are your 4 seasons? This concept has been introduced to me recently, and it's still something I'm thinking about for myself. But yeah, I feel like I have a season where, I'm going 24/7. I have an idea that I can't let go, and I just work on it for about 3 months. And then I have 3 months of being lost, because after I felt like I've done everything for it, I'm like, what's the next step? I'm not sure. I don't know what to do. And then, I do have that one season, especially I think in the beginning of the year, where I have these new goals and I have these things that I'm striving for. But yeah, so for you personally, I mean, it's okay if you can't flesh it out all right now, because I think it's a question that may need a little bit of thinking with. But if there's anything you could come up with, let us know.
4 seasons, there's definitely, for me, to kind of related to kind of what you said, there is a season of restlessness, where I just feel like I can't sit still. I always got to be doing something, moving around, traveling, seeing something, doing something different all the time. There's a season of wanting to be completely left alone. I don't want to be bothered with anything or anybody. I don't really want to dig too deep into what my responsibilities are right now. I'll handle them if they need to be handled, but just wanting to be left alone and to deal with my life how I need to deal with it. A season of impulsiveness, where I'm just kind of doing things, just kind of I get the thought in my head and I'll go do it. I don't know where it comes from. It never gets like too wild, but it's just like a season of where I just like I don't wanna have the like what ifs, or like, the question of like, well, if I would have done it, or if I did do it, or like just go do it and just see it, and then kind of deal with things later. Then it's like a season of just wanting to be surrounded by love and by my friends, my family, things I love to do, the food I love to eat. Just I need to be like recharged on that love to get me like back out in the world.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm still struggling with it, man, because I feel like I need to have 2 seasons only instead of 4 seasons. Like kind of like if I was playing a sport, you have your season and then you have your off season. Yeah, that's definitely something that I've been trying to create my life around that kind of thought process or that lifestyle. And working at a school, working with youth is one way you could kind of have that in season and off season kind of feeling. If you're not, well, I mean, I had jobs where I work, all year round on holidays and all that stuff, and I'm like, damn, like, I get it, money needs to get made, but like, there has to be that balance, and I think that's what's missing from our I guess work life and how things are structured. So yeah, that was just my tangent on it. But so I wanted to bring up, you talked about being open-minded, right? And so is there anything you feel comfortable sharing that you had a stance on, but then because you were open-minded and you were able to take in new information that you kind of changed your stance on? Is there any kind of example like that for yourself?
Yeah. The death penalty. I used to be like in middle school, like one of those like middle school, kind of like early high school, like not like I was like going around saying, yada yada, but like if the question came up, I was definitely pro death penalty because I just kind of figured the worst of the worst kind of deserve it. But as I've gotten older, I feel like it's nobody's right to really say who, when, or where anybody else's life should end. I feel like naturally, when you go naturally, then you go naturally. That's the way you're supposed to go. I kind of feel like it's nobody's right to tell anybody else, like, well, because you did this, we have to kill you now, because then who's to say that because you killed him that somebody else shouldn't kill you? And I feel like where's the line drawn? I do believe in, not throwing people in jail, but like certain people deserve to be, kept away from society. But I don't believe that I have the right to say certain people deserve to die.
I gotcha.
So that's something I was able to like, all right, yeah, I just changed my view on.
For sure. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's a tricky one, death penalty. I got to think about that one for myself. I think there's just some unforgivable stuff that people do, and
Definitely.
Maybe the world might be better without them. But then, like, there's redemption, right? There's people who do change, like that person committed that thing, but like you said, being open-minded, that could totally flip the script, but we just don't see it too often. I think that's my problem.
Yeah, and I do believe it's like a case to case, because some people, it's probably like, because it just sounds so barbaric to me to be like, yeah, we're better off without him. Because it's like, well, I didn't know the guy to begin with in the first place. I was always better off without him. So who am I now to be like, his life is just so meaningless and worthless? Like, if I didn't care before, I'd probably care less now that he's a criminal who's on death row for something heinous. But I do believe that at every turn, people are like, if they're just trying to throw the death penalty at anybody, anywhere, it's like, it's a case-to-case thing. But before, I was just super like, yeah, whatever. If you're on death row, then they're just going to get you, whatever. They're going to kill you. now I feel like I'm more like that we should take more precautions before just throwing anybody on death row and then execute people. Because people have been executed wrongly. So
no, for sure.
then it's like, where do you take the stand on that? If there's pro death penalty, how can you so that one.
I got you. Well, all right, man. Well, we made it to the last portion of the podcast. It's called the final stretch. But before we get to the questions, I do this thing with my guests called the 34th mantra, where I have these fill in the blanks for you. And the first one is I am blank. How would you fill that in?
I am resilient. Yeah,
I'm resilient.
like that one.
Second one is I can blank.
I can. Ooh. I can be what I want to be.
Hey, man. You know, sometimes it's cliche because it's true. You feel me?
I just heard the song in my head and I'm like, nah, they were right though. So yeah.
Yeah, you know you can.
Yeah.
And the last one is I will blank.
I will. I will continue to do my best in this life. I'll continue to do my best.
For sure, man. For sure. And yeah, if you ever need a reminder, now you got these sound bites of yourself, you know, as to send you that energy from the past. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
I gotta ask you, man. Like, you know, you kind of talked about youth work and whatnot, but is there a career that you looking for or looking at, or you know, where are you with that kind of?
It sounds crazy. There are things that I would like to do, but I don't necessarily believe that I'm like chasing a career. My ideal life is like me not having to do a whole lot and like reaping the benefits of like something I created or something like that. Like, I'm not sure I'm chasing an everyday get up and be stressed out about something. Like, but I understand that life is like, so there are certain hobbies and things that I can see myself doing, maybe. But right now, I'm not certain I'm chasing a career.
Sounds good to me, man. Sounds good to me. And you know, if you can, I mean, I think you're young enough to pull this off. You probably got the network to do this. If you want to work, let's say 3 months out of the year and have the other 9 months off, you got to do an event, man. You got to do some kind of event, some kind of like concert, some kind of. But for me, I was hella thinking of like, why ain't there any like hella good like Halloween, you know, mazes, or you know, because I don't know if you've ever been to those, but I've been to a few and they're like, all right, they're not as scary as they could be. So like, you know, if I made a bomb ass like Halloween maze, that's like a couple months of the year. I just gotta work and then make all my dough that way. But,
and that's kind of how I see my life. Like, you know, like you said, the moments where you're just grinding and then I can like chill and like do what I want to do. I like to like travel and see different things and like, you know.
That's sick, man.
That's kind of like my goal. So like if I can maintain myself so that I can continue to just travel and see the world until, you know, I've seen it as much as I can before, you know, I can't see no more. That's what I'm taking.
Would you consider like teaching abroad? Like, I know a lot of folks who teach English abroad.
Like teaching English, yeah. I actually have been thinking about that recently. I've been thinking about a lot of things recently, but I've definitely been thinking about like, how can I see more with, you know, with what I got, or like how can I get out there more? I've been in California a long time, so you know, I feel like
I hear you.
Check on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've kept in touch with Miles or Jason, but those two guys I know have done that route, and you know, it's one of those things that I feel like I wish I could have done, and I guess it's not too late for me yet, but yeah, I mean, look into it. I think you mentioned the youth work, and like I said, I've had a lot of jobs in a lot of years, and if there's something to it, then maybe it is something in your soul that makes you just like enjoy that work, and it is good. So just think about it. Anyways,
Definitely.
well, we made it to the final stretch, and my first question for you is for my previous guest is did you ever meet a Sharon Cravanis in Smash?
No, I don't.
Nah, okay. I mean, she was like the college career person when I was there. So I was just I can't remember if she was around during that time, but
okay.
hers is a little political. But
Okay.
for you, what can you name the best thing that happened during the Donald Trump administration?
The best thing that happened.
Yeah.
Internet memes. The
I
guy
got
was
you.
hilarious. If we want to look at any positive, sometimes like I said, I find the humor in things. He was kind of funny when you look beyond like the fact that he was the leader of the United States, but like him tossing paper towels to the people like it was a basketball, and just little things like that was like you can look back on and laugh to even think like, wow, that was our president for about 4 years. Like that was our guy. And
That was our guy.
I can't say anything. But internet memes, he was good for those little sound bites and stuff like that. Twitter loved it. So yeah.
Yeah, man, it was definitely entertaining for years. I'll say that.
Definitely entertaining. It was way more entertaining than political. So
For better or for worse. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
And then my next question for you is, what would you like to ask the next guest that comes on to 34 Questions? Could be heavy or light. It's all up to you, man.
I think I would ask, what's made you happy today? Today. Yeah.
That's a good one, man. That's a little heavy, and keeps
it
you.
Doesn't have to be. Yeah.
It keeps you present in today, So I like that. And then my last question for you, the question that ties everything together, is a couple generations down the road, maybe 100 years or so, you got your descendants watching this video. What would you like to tell them?
I would like to tell them that I was a fighter, never gave up. I always wanted to. Even at times where I didn't think I wanted to keep going, I still kept going. I still kept pushing through. And that it wasn't always easy for me, but, I always made a way. So I would just hope that any of my descendants, anything, are resilient, have that determination and want to keep going through life. Because when there was times that I didn't, I really wish that there was, those feelings of like keep going, when you got to pull it out from yourself and you're not really getting too much energy from anything around you, it can get a little bit hard. But I just hope that my descendants inspire this, and that they kind of funny. I hope anybody that comes after me pretty common.
For sure. Any last things you'd like to add before we head out of here?
I'd like to give a shout out to my sister.
For sure.
That's my dog.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Big sis and little sis.
I know if nobody else gonna watch, I know she gonna watch. So I know she gonna get to this part. So I love you, Potato. That's
what's up. Big sis, little sis.
That's my little sister.
All right, shout out to little sis, man. And yeah, man. Well, I want to thank you again for stopping by, sharing your story, being open. It was great to reconnect with you, man. I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, I had fun.
I'm glad, man. And maybe part 2. I don't know how hard it'll be, but it'll be cool to get everybody that was in our suite that one time all in one chats if that's something that could happen, but we'll see down the
That
future.
would be interesting. I still keep in touch with like a few of them, good amount of people.
For sure.
Of course, San Francisco.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like the scene and stuff. So, I could probably wrangle up a couple knuckleheads.
Hey, that'd be what's up, man. That'd be fun as hell.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, I want to thank all the folks out there. If you're catching this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, much love to you guys as well. Remember to reach out, reach forward. As always, much love, and we'll catch you guys next time on 34 Questions. Peace.
Thank you.
And then this is like my little end credit scene. But yo, man, I didn't get to ask you, and maybe you could enlighten me. But like you said, you had sickle cell, right?
Yeah.
What's a common misconception about that? Because like I feel like there's things that we've heard about, but I don't really know. So what's like something you could drop some knowledge on me with?
I would almost say it's not even taught enough to have common misconceptions. People almost don't know what it is at all.
That's crazy.
So
yeah.
When I say it and people ask like, what is it? What does it do? I guess one of the most common misconceptions is like, can you pass it on? If they really don't know what it is and really never heard of it. So it's like,
I got you.
I've run into so many people who never heard of it.
That's a trip, because I learned about it in school, and I guess it's a common thing though, right? Like there's a lot of folks.
It's more common than people believe, but a lot of people don't test for it or don't ask. Some doctors aren't like. I had a doctor tell me one time that I didn't have it, even though I had already been living with it for a couple like years now. So it's like